Will John Boy and Olivia be able to forgive Grandpa Zeb for selling their horse to Kurt Willard tonight at 6 p.m. on the Waltons? Find out later. But first, here's the Thamesmen.
We're back for day two. Day two. Whatever day it is. It's internet land. Time does not exist.
I wish it didn't. Well, maybe actually, if we didn't have time, we'd be in trouble because like everything would happen at once.
I've got a migraine. Don't do that. What do you mean? Oh, hello everyone. My name is Alex. I am
confused.
San Francisco.
I'm George. I'm in Los Angeles.
And you reach the high-budget, light reaction, shite little reaction channel called the Thamesmen.
The Thamesmen, because we are from the River Thames. River rats.
One of us is a man. Anyway, so we're in the middle of, and welcome to, and bonjour to all our French-speaking Canadians. We're in the middle of Canada Week.
We are
curated and put together by our good friend Chris, and we just day one just absolutely blew me away. We had Canada on a smorgasbord,
the whole of Canada in one performance. Brilliant, almost. Yes,
yeah.
People will argue because we've got some other good stuff coming up, which is new and interesting. And today is something new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's David Heavyfoot.
What?
David Heavyfoot. Oh no, it's
his cousin, Gordon. Yeah. Gordon Lightfoot. Heavyfoot.
Yeah. Do you reckon if they were in a soccer team, old David, he would
defender.
Yeah. And Gordon would be up front with the old
right wing. He'd be straight down the wing. He'd be like,
he would. Gordon. And he'd trip over the ball and go, oh, Lightfoot. Or he could be in a cave and they could all be dark. And they say, Gordon, come here. And they say, what? And they take off his shoe. And it lights up the cave.
What is he, like Gollum or something like that? You know?
Gordon Lightfoot.
I know that. I'm not stupid. But like, what is he, an elf? You know?
No, he's just got a Lightfoot.
A Lightfoot. Okay. Can we move
anyway,
on?
So as you know, we know everything about Gordon Lightfoot.
We do, obviously. But we got some notes that help us, though, haven't we?
We do. God. Let's do this.
Yeah,
we are doing about the wreck of St. Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, very famous story, that, isn't it? So yeah,
is it?
Yeah, it is.
What do you know about it then?
I've heard. I don't know the song, but I know of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and maybe it's because of the song that it became into sort of popular understanding. But apparently, this track is like 1976 or something.
Can I do a boat foghorn?
You can, yeah.
For the Fitzgerald, right? Here we go.
Okay. You have to get the money's worth out of your jar, don't you?
I know. That'd be brilliant. All right. Well, can you read them? Because obviously I'm not very good at reading because I keep messing up, as you quite rightly see.
I never would have said such a thing. But but here we go. So, wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald. He has been referred to. This is Gordon Lightfoot as Canada's greatest songwriter. Now that's saying something. And helped
even better than Neil Young
or Leonard Cohen.
That's controversial.
Yeah. Controversial, and helped define the folk pop sound of the 1960s and 70s. His songs have been recorded by almost everyone from Elvis Presley to Barbra Streisand to Nico and Eric Clapton. His first US country number one was River of Darkness, performed by Marty Robbins in 1965, before establishing himself as an international performer. This song about the sinking of the bulk carrier SS Edmund Fitzgerald on Lake Superior came out almost exactly a year after the event. It was number one in Canada and achieved number two in the US. Lightfoot considers it his finest work.
Wow.
Interesting. I wish to hear this tale of.
I think he's going to tell us the story of the boat sinking, which I always find amazing that musicians could do that. You take a subject, for example, the studio burning down and watching it, and you write Smoke on the Water, and all the lyrics are there, how the fire, the gun went off and all that. I just love it. So, I mean, that for me is a sign of a great songwriter, that they can take you through a journey.
And I suppose that is the folk tradition, isn't it? The folk tradition is telling tales, telling stories around the sort of campfire or around the, the table or whatever it may be. And so it is, it is like an oral history of things that go on. So,
except for Spit in a Jar, that was just a good old song.
You sing that a lot around the old table, do you?
Spit in a jar. Spit in a jar. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And where be my donkey? All right, that old classic one.
Yeah, exactly. And we've also just got if you stick around, we've got a bit of a bonus. Coming up, but stick around. This will be a surprise bonus.
We do. Can I tell our? No,
I just it was a surprise, and you want to tell them.
Well, you've given it away that there's going to be a bonus.
Well, yeah, but okay, you can tell them if you like.
No, I won't tell them. I'm not going to tell them the Dandy Warhols are also going to do the record Edmund Fitzgerald in 19. I'm not going to do that.
They're a famous Canadian band as well, aren't they? Obviously.
Well, the Canadian, obviously. All right, then. Let's do this one.
Right, the record, the Edmund Fitzgerald. This is live in Reno, and it was recorded in 2000, apparently. So let's check it out.
3, 2, 1, boom.
Thank you very much. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Nice 12 string.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The legend lives on from the trip on down of the big lake, big old get sugar man. The lake, it is said, never gives up the dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. But the load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That big ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came running. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some Miller, Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a growing good captain well seasoned, concluding sometimes with a couple of steel guns when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast hid the week when the gales of November came slashing. And after the name it was freezing rain, the face of a hurricane west wind. When the supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed you. At 7 p.m. the main hatch we give in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know you. And the captain went in, he had water coming in, and the big ship and crew was in peril. Then later that night when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say that it made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up, or they might have capsized. They may have broke Cape and drunk water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Like Huron Rose, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansion. Oh, Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go as the barons all go with the gales of November, remember. Cathedral. The church bell chimed at every 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa down the big lake they call Gitchigurdy. Superior, they say, never gives up the did when the gales of November come early. Thank you very kindly. We'll be right back. Thank
you. Wow. He's interesting. I've never heard his voice before. But that was interesting. That was really interesting. What do you think?
Couldn't understand a fucking word he said.
Well, I was kind of, I was like, I had to key into his voice. Like
there was something about he. At
the beginning, it was particularly like that. But I kind of got,
I heard the word November.
Gales of November. Yeah.
Hurricane. I heard that.
Yeah. The Edmund
cook couldn't cook for them. It was terrifying.
Right? But now, okay. I loved it though because it was in that tradition of nautical folk songs. It had that rolling sort of gait to it. Like the waves rolling in. It had that feel of a sort of a tale being told. Of storms and loss and all that stuff. And that is now on his other songs. Does he have that same gait and that same sort of lilting sound to it?
No idea.
Well, we should find out because this is what we're here for.
Absolutely. He had one chord sequence that went round, and it went round for 7 minutes. I could listen to that for another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I still haven't a clue what he's talking about. But I would have loved it. I love the 12-string. I love that 12-string. I also really loved the bass player.
Right. Yeah. No,
I thought the band were great, and I loved his voice. I tried to put captions on.
I tried the same as such. Maybe I don't know if we can add them later or not. I don't know how hard that would be. That'd be quite
and I
hard.
would have thought that the studio version would have been a lot clearer, because I mean that was a live version, and he's got a really crystal clear voice, really good voice.
Yeah.
And he looks at, he's in great shape, and his voice is in great shape, and I'm wondering if the studio version is much better or better. But for those who ask, why don't we do the studio version? It's because if we do the studio version, you have to look at us.
And now, also there is
now you see,
And, yeah, exactly. And also the argument is sometimes that it's more authentic when it's live, because they can't overdub and re-edit and things like that. And so sometimes you're getting a view of a true talents of people at times.
Yeah, and if we couldn't hear every single word, it was probably, it was a live version. But it was, he was magnetic. I want to hear more. He felt like a true folk singer, didn't he? He was telling you.
Yeah,
you said, and it was very well said, the waves were coming in and the music, and you felt like, I don't know what he was on about, but I felt like I was with him.
I did wonder if it was in a different language to start with, but
I thought it was Gaelic.
Well, it's kind of that lilt to it, doesn't it? That's a very Celtic, Gaelic-y kind of, like the broad brush strokes.
Yeah, and then I thought it was in French, so I listened for French, and it wasn't French.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was good.
Well, maybe we got the bonus and.
That's blown the budget. That's blown the budget now.
Oh God, yeah. So we got our bonus, which is the Dandy Warhols, which we know are not Canadian. They're actually not far from Canada because they're in Portland, but which is sort of not Northern America, isn't it? But but they did a version of the same track, and so
it says here not the song in its entirety, so it's going to stop early on. But I can see Chris, who does our notes for us, and he picks the music. Thank you, Chris, forever.
Well, he knows that the Dandy Warhols is one of my favorite bands. Like I love. Well, yeah, both of us.
It's art. Oh, did you see that thing about Nuggets I sent you?
Yeah, the 50th anniversary of the Nuggets, which is fantastic.
Well, do you know it was the singer? It was a guitarist from Patti Smith's band who put it together.
Oh, really?
And it's often quoted to be in the top 100 albums of all time.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, Nuggets is a compilation of sort of early psychedelia, punk, sort of rock, you kind of 60s, early 60s.
It was garage band from LA scene or whatever, but that
one hit wonders and some weird little things. Yeah.
And the Dandies sit on top of that kind of genre. And that's why we like them, you know what I mean? Because, the Nuggets album, amazing album, and the Dandies kind of the evolution on that, who kind of tripped off the back of that.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I never thought about it like that. So, yeah. Okay, well, let's check out what the Dandies got to say about the wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, I know what they're going to say.
I bet they don't.
I don't. Yeah.
Are you ready, sir?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, boom.
The good ship and crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when she left fully loaded for The wind in the wire made a tattletale sound as the waves broke over the railing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. 7 p.m. the old cook came on deck, saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed ya. But when the captain wired in, he had water coming in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya. Lake Huron rolls superior, sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansions. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below Lake Ontario, she takes in what Lake Erie can send her. But the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November, remember. Now in a musty old hall in Detroit, they pray at the Maritime Sailors Cathedral, and the church bell chimes till rings 29 times, once for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, you could hear the lyrics in that one then, but he cut out a load, didn't they? They cut out a whole section, of course.
Who knows? But it was. I mean, like, I prefer Gordon Lightfoot's version, but I prefer his he had a different singing line on there. Obviously, it was a really raw, just like tape recorder, put down. But you could see where they also. I know where the Dandies are, and I know what they do, and also listening to Gordon Lightfoot, you could see where the Dandies could have taken it.
Yeah,
if they were put all their swirl on, which they normally do,
Yeah, I think it's not a song that needs a swirl, though, is it? I was expecting them to break into a bit of but they didn't. And I don't think it's. I don't think I'm not sure I've ever seen them do it live. Or maybe, I don't know. But...
No, I never even knew they covered that.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Anyway, but a nice contrast, I think. And any excuse for me to listen to the Dandies is always good.
Absolutely, that was excellent. All right. Thank you, Chris, for sorting that out, and thank you for sitting through that one as well, because that was a bit of a long one, of dirge. I'll give you that, of dirge, but it was Dandy Dirge, so there you go.
Yeah, well, but back to Gordon Lightfoot, though. Fantastic. I think we could definitely do more of him. I would love to know what else we should check out, where we should check it out. That'd be interesting, I think. So.
I'm going to quickly look to see what's coming up tomorrow. That's going to be good. I never knew they were Canadian. Here we go. All right, we'll do that tomorrow.
Excellent. All right. Well, I can't wait. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh.
See you in a minute. All right. Ciao.
Bye. Like and subscribe.